Good morning, church family. It's great to have Andrew Lupton with us today. Some of you don't know Andrew and his family. So, Andrew and Laura Kate and their three kids are planting a church in Oslo. And gosh, Andrew, what it's been, how long you been there now?
About a year and a half now.
Okay, a year and a half. And so, was it 2.5 years ago then when we did the feasibility study?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. So it's been really great having them there. Andrew's a good friend. We met through MICN. And actually, when you're watching this video, I'll be in Bogota, Colombia, which is where Andrew used to pastor before we poached him and got him to come to Oslo to plant a church there. So I'm looking forward to seeing your old church, Andrew. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I wish I could get with you next time.
It would be cool to have you there. But I know that Bryce is doing a great job. He'll be coming to Bolivia for our retreat there. It'll be his first time with us. And your old associate, Andrew Baxley, will be with him as well. So we're looking forward to that. I know you left that church in a really good place. I know you guys are doing a great job in Oslo. It's been a huge change, a huge cultural change. And I guess let me ask you that first. How are you and Laura Kate, and how are the kids doing with school? I mean, what a shift, Colombia to Norway.
Yeah, huge shift. I feel like maybe for the first time we feel more settled. Um, we had to change houses, which you all knew about and prayed us through over the summer. And it was really God's providence to put us in a bigger house because our church plant was growing. But we love our new neighborhood. We really love our new school. Actually, I can hear my kids coming in downstairs right now, and they're bringing over their two Italian friends. They've got friends from all over the world at this little international school and have just fell into a great group of kids. And we're really, really thankful on the family front. Things are very healthy there.
That's cool. That's great. Now, I know it was a pretty big stress when you got kicked out of the house that you thought you would have for another year or so, but it's great to see God had a better plan, even in the midst of that. So, as far as the church, then I know you guys started in the home kind of officially about a year ago now, right? It's kind of the official
Yeah,
launch.
almost. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. About a year ago. It was
Yeah.
March 27th.
Okay. So, there we go. About a year because the first few months you guys got settled, you got legal, had to get your visa. You guys launched in the house. And how long did you stay having services in the house?
We did services in our house until the middle of September.
Okay.
And
And then,
then we found a rented place.
okay. And is that so where you guys are at now?
Yeah, so we signed a year-long contract. It's a parish house owned by the Lutheran Church, and it's perfect. I mean, it's two levels. We have a really big meeting space upstairs. We could probably fit 130, 50 people in there, something like that. Big kitchen, industrial kitchen. Downstairs, we have classroom space for Sunday school. So it's perfect, and it's in the neighborhood, David, that you and I stayed in. It's just a few blocks from where we stayed when we did our feasibility study in the neighborhood we were targeting all along.
That's right. Which for the church here, I'm trying to remember the name. It's
Meyer Stewart.
Myers to yeah. So some people will know that. I mean, we were able to walk that from National Theater, right? Stop
Yep.
quite close.
Yep.
So a lot of our folks then I think will be familiar at least with that part of Oslo, which is fantastic. I mean, that's where we felt like God was leading, and then and now He's put you there. And how is the church doing? How is it going now in that space? And if you guys continue to grow, tell us a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we have stabilized more. At first, it was explosive growth, and it was a little scary because we didn't have space for everybody. Now we're seeing kind of our regulars are we know who they are. We our growth is, I think, in a healthy place because we have more of an infrastructure now to care for people. We've taken some steps toward formalizing as an established church. So we'll do 2 more weeks of our new members course, which has been a lot of fun because we've got a lot of young Christians and people who have never actually been a member of a church. And so we're walking through what it means to belong to God's people and what accountability looks like. And this week we'll get to talk about our DNA as a church, and part of that's pretty significant is our call to the mission of God. So I'm really pleased. There are a lot of markers of health with our little church group. We've got a few leaders that are emerging. We've got three home groups that are meeting. Probably could have done a fourth, but home groups that are meeting weekly or biweekly. And yeah, it's a great group, a lot of fun. You need to come see them sometime, David.
No, I'd love to get to come and visit. And as far as the members, you've got about how many people now that'll, when you finish this, will be kind of part of the first membership group?
Yeah, I'd say we're getting around 60 people on a Sunday, and probably 25 or 30 of those will be members formally.
That's fantastic. Yeah, no, it'd be great. We should do a pulpit swap or something at some point, and
Yeah,
we'd love to have you here again. I'd love to see things there. Although I'd love to have you there as well to get to hang out in person. Well, tell
yeah.
me, Andrew. I know that your kids are getting home. You need to see them, but can you just give us any thoughts of you? How have you seen God moving through the church, through the work there? How have you seen Him at work in the midst of all this?
Yeah, there's a story I'm writing up right now, actually, that is pretty beautiful. So the international church tends to attract a lot of young people. So there's a young lady named Jeanette who came to our church in September, and just learning about her backstory. You know some of her family members, David, but learning about her backstory. Her dad was one of the first Christians in Turkmenistan, converted, began to share his faith, was arrested and tortured, just horrific circumstances there where there's no religious freedom. They had their home taken away, and they fled by foot through the desert. So here's this young dad, young mom, fleeing by foot through the desert to, I think, Uzbekistan, and looking for asylum. And a year later, Norway allows them to come, and they set up shop here and go to Turkey, get kicked out of Turkey for the same sort of thing, and back in Norway. And so this young woman has been uprooted at every turn and is really searching for home. And I think there was some questions in the family about, whether or not she would want Christianity to have anything to do with her new sense of identity as she moves to Oslo to go to university. So she came to our church in September, and I think by the end of November, the one of the guys that's working with me had been preaching on baptism, and she came up to me after the service and was like, "Hey, I'm ready. I'm at a point where I know that I'm a Christian. I'm following Jesus, and this is what I want my life to be back or to be about." So, I mean, picture this. So we had to rent the she wanted a Baptist style baptism, which is fine. But we had to rent the Seventh-day Adventist church down the road, and in the baptismal pool, it was me, and it was her, and it was her dad, one of the first Christians from Turkmenistan. So it's really beautiful to see God growing His family through the international church and through North Sea. I mean, this is she as much as she is our first baptism and profession of faith. She's one of you. This is part of what you all are doing by sending us out to the east, the lost east, to Oslo, to be your missionary. So thank you for partnering with us, and yeah, I would say you can thank God for that, and you can pray for more, because we've got a lot of other young people that are in a very similar place in terms of wrestling with Christianity and who seem to be close to embracing Jesus.
That's really cool. It's very special. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Some of our people in a church family, we actually had her father, Batir, the one of the first Christians in Turkmenistan that Andrew's referencing, shared our men's Bible study a couple of months ago. And so we got your story. It's very powerful. And actually he really appreciates your ministry, Andrew, because it's not just his daughter. I think he's got a couple of sons there too at the
Yeah,
church.
it sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he just is so glad they found a church home. They said they hadn't found, and this is church family. This is why we asked Andrew and Laura Kate to consider going to Oslo, because we had seen the need in Oslo for a church with a similar ethos to North Sea. There just wasn't anything. And this is what Batir said, that his kids couldn't find a church that they felt comfortable in until they found Andrew's church. And now his daughter has been able to, yeah, I mean, connect with Christ through this and decide that this is, that Jesus is real and that's that's just, yeah, it's very encouraging. Well, we want to pray for you. You haven't yet met Mike and Maggie, who are our interims right now, but we're hoping they're going to get to come visit you guys in Oslo. So you'll be hearing from them as they hope to make a trip maybe next month if you and Laura Kate are around. And you guys, of course, are always welcome here. We look forward to continue to connect. But what we'll do now is I'm just going to ask, we're going to pray as soon as we finish the video. When it goes off, then the church family is going to pray for you guys, for you and Laura Kate and your ministry there in Oslo. So Andrew, thank you so much for taking the time to share with us, and God bless you guys.
Thanks, David.